Hi guys, good morning and welcome to Create with Camerajoint, the first of its kind. In this series, we are going to be bringing to you professionals, in the industry, in the content creation industry, to talk to you about several things, from creating amazing content to, how you can be very profitable uh, in the business of content creation, right? So as Camerajoint, our goal here is not just to sell you products, but to educate you on the products you're buying and the industry that you have chosen to be part of. So today we are going to be having amazing guests. I will allow him to do the introduction himself, and I want to use this opportunity to ask that you start sending in your questions. It is very important. And just to let you know that one of the amazing things that will be going on today is that one of the best questions, most engaging questions that we announced on our Instagram page will be rewarded. So what do you have to do? Subscribe to this channel and be part of this channel. Send in your questions and let your questions provoke thought and provoke discussion to help not just you, but other people. And then you are going to go home with amazing prize. So subscribe and let's get this going. As a matter of fact, I want to implore you to take this link and share to as many people as possible. Your friends, there are people that are in your circle that will need to be part of this show, so that they can as well hear from the best and be educated, right? So yeah, thank you for doing all that. Now, can we get started? With me here is a veteran in the field, and I will just allow him to introduce himself, and we'll get going from there. So people, Mr. Sam, good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning.
So, okay, now let us meet you.
My name is Samuel Olatubosun. I'm a creative artist. My work is within the creative space, visual art, precisely. I'm a photographer, and when you need me to, I'm a videographer. When you need me to, I'm your director. Yeah, so my work revolves pretty much around that. I've been into photography since 2011. I'm not sure if I can count how many years that is now, but since 2011. Currently we have a commercial photography studio in Surulere, serving different clients, from personal clients, individual clients, to corporate clients, international clients as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much about me for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. So, one of the things I'll kick off by asking you, you said you're a creative artist. Before you start mentioning photography and the rest, what does that mean, actually?
Okay. Long time ago, I would have said I'm a photographer. Well, but experience has a way of reshaping your thoughts, reshaping your identity. In that sense. Over the years, I realized that you are, first of all, a creative person, an artist, someone who has the ability, the prowess to do something, to create something. And it could be in any field anyways. It could be maybe in the art industry. You could draw, you could sing, you could dance, and whatsoever, before you now decide to start doing. So there's an innate ability, there's something inside of you. Sometimes it may not be innate, it may just be an accumulation of your experience, but it turns out that you have the ability to create something. And so when you now begin to choose how you want to create, for example, maybe now I want to make a chair, and then you begin to find nomenclatures for yourself. So maybe I'm a carpenter, maybe I'm a photographer because it's pictures you want to create, maybe I'm a videographer because it's video you want to create and all that. But primarily, you're a creative artist. You have the ability to create something. you know.
You know why I brought that word creative artist, it can be scary, right? I just want to be a photographer. Like I just want to be a photographer. Which one is artist again? You understand? But what you've explained so far, is just like finding a way to deliver on what you want, right?
Yeah.
That creativity in you trying to solve a particular problem. That is what I see as being a creative artist, right?
Yeah.
Either it involves just the pictures or including the visual side of it, or even the directing side of it, or even fabrication.
Yeah.
Fabricating things.
Yeah.
Makeshift. They call it shitty rigs.
Yeah.
Just to using tapes. To patch some things, just so that at the end, people will barely believe that you achieved this result with this. You understand? So yeah, now it makes sense right now. It makes sense. So for someone watching that is like, okay, I just want to be a photographer, and they're kind of a bit scared right now, what will you tell the person, in this light of being a creative artist?
I think you just need to own who you are. It took me a long time to finally, to be able to give this kind of, definition or description of myself. Because I came into photography when it was a common saying there that you should choose a niche. Choose a niche, just stick to something and just keep doing nothing. So everybody wanted to be a fashion photographer, or I'm just a child and maternity photographer, I'm just a wedding photographer, I'm just a documentary photographer. And that was like, it sounds cool then to say I'm a fashion photographer, and everybody just looks at you like, oh, you're a professional fashion photographer. But truth of the matter is that deep down in your heart, there's something that's always wanting you to create more than just that fashion photography that you're doing.
But you are boxing.
But you're boxing yourself and all that, because the true nature of a creator is that you just have the ability to create, and it's bursting out of you like every now and then and all that. So what I would say is that desire to want to do multiple things and all of that, don't cage it, all right? Rather learn to manage it and channel it the right way, because it could be photography today and it could be another thing tomorrow. So my advice is, be open-minded to who you are, accept that identity. There's a common saying that jack of all trade, master of none. I think much recently people have been able to talk about the remaining part of that. Do you understand? Adage,
you can actually be jack of all trade and master of all.
Do you understand? But better than all. That's actually the finishing part of that saying. Do you understand? So it's jack of all trade, is master of none, but it's better than everyone, because it pretty much has idea on every student. So that's pretty much like what a creator is, a creative person is. You have the ability to do a lot of things, and it's not a shame. It's nothing bad about it. So that's why fundamentally that's who you are before you're a photographer or a videographer.
And just to add to that, this jack of all trade, master of none, that is an idea that we were given, and it's not actually true, because most people that are in this field of creativity, most of them started as maybe graphic designers. They now transitioned into directing. Imagine someone that is a graphic designer, a video editor, and now a movie director. Look at the embodiment, what this person has in himself or herself to deliver in that light, right? Wow, this is amazing. So what would you call yourself? Master of all.
Like I said, I'm what you want me to be. I am.
You can actually do from corporate photography to maternity.
In fact, my experience is if I'm allowed to, just a little bit of history. So I got into photography trying to encourage. So I was a youth president at my church, and then I wanted to encourage the young people, that I was leading in that sense. And some of them were even older than me, by the way. So I wanted to encourage them to have something of their own, have a sort of personal skill that is not limited to their certificate or anything like that. So I got in. There was UK skill and acquisition program. Now transition to UK photography academy. And so the person that owned that initiative was like a brother to me and all that. And I also wanted to be able to support what he was doing, you know. So I just encouraged everybody to enroll for one skill or the other, you know. And I enrolled too, because if I'm telling them to do it, I must do it, right? So I enrolled for photography because I've always just loved. I draw. I was like, I used to draw those period. You know, I draw comics and some of those things then. So I just thought, okay, photography could be a faster way to draw in that sense, you know. So I decided to just jump into it. So I started off the scratch, you know, learned the professional side to it, and then I haven't learned the professional side to it. My boss kicked me into the field and said, hey, go to the parties and shoot papa. You know, you don't have money. You know,
papa for those who don't know, is in fact, explain it to me.
So papa, you know, so it's like, you know, you go to the field. You know, like you see those people that participate parties in the field or in the hall. Anyway, you just go with your camera and then you shoot. You run to the lab to print, and you come and sell your prints. You understand, to people.
Well, bro Sam, you're being diplomatic about this explanation. Let me explain it. Papa is like when you go to events, you see those people that will carry camera unauthorized and come to your face. And you tell them, get out. You say, get out. Yeah, they've already taken. And before you know it, they are bringing pictures you didn't ask for. You know, so those are wow.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so you nailed it on the end. Anyways, I feel like the people's from like people from like 2000, 2005, 2000. I mean, upward like that, you probably would know, you know what I'm saying. So the idea was, he kicked me to this field and like start off somewhere, just start somehow, you know. So I started off that way. In between that, I've done all sorts of, you know, short weddings today or tomorrow. It is because in my case, I wanted to survive. I needed to run life one way or the other. This was like the only skill that I had, you know. So, but from there, the skill started. It's like, okay, okay. So you brought photography, videography. I think I never really had one proper formal education for videography. You know, even for the way I learned Photoshop was completely unconventional. You know, most of the softwares, I never learned Adobe Premiere per se. You know, just watch some. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try, and then I jumped on it. You know, and I could do that over and over again. So, and that's why I said the ability is first of all innate. You know, it's usually your mind. You know, your mind, that ability to think something through and to be able to decide. Yeah.
So now, just to follow up on that, right? You started from that.
Yeah.
But right now you are not there.
Yeah.
At what point that did it click to you that I need to upgrade my game? I need to move further. If not, you know, I might be stuck, or the world might leave me behind. Because, you know, if you look at Pakpakpa people, you see Pakpakpa in them. You understand?
Yeah.
So at what point did you transition to where you are today? I mean, having a full-fledged photography studio here in the city of Lagos is huge, right? At what point did you move, and what did you do to help you move to that?
I would say that one very important thing to my decision was personal valuation. Personal valuation of who I am, what I want to do, and how I wanted to do it. Of course, I was inspired, you know, to think about myself in that manner. And it took time. And this is just like a piece of advice, all right, to anyone at all, whether young photographers or old photographers, been in the business in a while and not that, you probably just don't understand this. I've seen people want to take the decision of moving from maybe changing their price, or maybe changing the kind of genre of photography they're doing because they hope they could make more money from another, you know, area or something. Or they want to just stop this one they are doing because they probably just don't like it. For some reason, they want to make some changes. If you make the change and in the next 1 month, things are not working the way you want it to work, if you would have to go back to what you have changed from, don't change it first place. What do I mean by that? There are people who change their price. They say, okay, now my price is so, and then Say why? Because I mean, look at my work, look at this other person's work. There's no difference in it and all that. So I want to charge what that person is charging. I know. And then also they say, okay, so my price is 500,000. Say, oh, 500,000. Okay. So someone reaches out to them and say, I want you to do this for me. And say, oh, but I don't have 500,000. I have 400,000 for you. If you would take 400,000 instead of 500,000 that you've changed to, you should never change in the first place. So there has to be that complete conviction that you value yourself up to this. In my case, it was a personal valuation, and it didn't happen overnight. All right, it happened over a certain period of time. In fact, there were periods of my life where I was literally shooting every day, experimenting in the studio. You know, I have the works of Kelechi Amadiobi, Obisonto, T.Y. Bello, Clay Cook. You know, some of these other photographers that I just wanted to shoot what they were shooting. Kelechi Amadiobi literally influenced my work greatly. So I was literally just want to see what he has done. You know, I had stack of then it wasn't even my studio, it was my boss studio, you know, UK Photoshop. He had stacks of Kelechi Amadiobi's magazines, Stamina magazine in the studio. So I looked through each one of them. I looked through, and then creating and recreating all the time. So it got to a point in my life, but it didn't even happen because I was just looking through all that. I'm saying this were accumulation, you know, of things that I've seen and all that. And then over time, I started shooting, and I'm looking at my work, and I'm looking at every episode, you know. And then I've gone through the track of, okay, charge this rate and all that, and I see why someone didn't respect me because of what I was charging, you know, and I was more or less like begging for your respect, you know. Fine, I know you've paid me, but don't treat me like scratch and everything and all that. And then I come to you. So over time, I realized, okay, it became important to me because of where I was heading, what my vision was, you know, to go a particular route, you know. And then I told myself I was going to do that. When I decided I was going to set up my studio in Surrey, it was supposed to be like a 2 years plan for me. 1 year was going to be to work and just save up as much as possible. And you know, I was going to buy equipment for a particular year. So every money that I was making, I was going to buy equipment. I was going to buy every single money I was making, I was going to buy equipment. And then the following year, I would save up money to get the rent. That was.
Let me ask quickly. Like, you know, there's this way of saying it. How are you guys even getting this job? Like, you know, a creative will be like, oh, well, how are we not to get this work, sir? Okay. So, you know, while we are talking about this, which is amazing, we have some questions that are coming online, but we'll take them. While you're talking about this, which is amazing, I want you to, you know, talk about how you were able to get the jobs, even at the level, right, you were, and then as you were going up and you were still getting these jobs. Yeah. You know, so, yeah.
Okay. For that, I'll start off by saying, first of all, God's grace. Number one. God's grace. Yes, there are things you will do practically, humanly speaking, you know, but there are also positioning. God just put you where He wants you to be that time or not. So, because you see, in the midst of all of this, we are talking photography, all right, but photography is nothing. No industry means anything in the grand scheme of divine plan, you know. So that you're doing that, you find yourself in photography industry today, you find yourself in another industry tomorrow, doesn't mean a thing. There is a grand scheme which is God's plan, what's going to happen at the end of the day. And so it's important that in whatever pursuit that you have in life, that you align yourself first of all with divinity, you know, with God. You understand? Say, okay, this is the direction, and then so every other thing that would happen in your life will be in line with what is planned for you. Is not just because you did so much, and also even though you worked and you're going to yield results, you would yield results in the line of what God's plan is for you. And you see, when I speak of God's plan, oftentimes you think you're choosing, you know, and yes, of course you have the ability to choose, but you see, there's a laid out plan on how things are going to happen. You're going to play a character at one point or the other. So it's going to be of choice what character you choose to play. So this is my understanding about life. All right. So I choose to play the character of this person in God's grand scheme of things. All right. That I want to be this person that does this type of thing because it's laid out. Some people will behave this way, some will be that way, some will be for this, some will be for that. And I said, okay, I want to be for this.
Yes.
So
you can actually choose.
Yes, you can literally choose. Do you understand? But you're not choosing you're not trying to make something new to choose.
Yeah.
You're choosing from what's already on ground. You know, if you permit me a bit, you read in the Bible about Judas, and then it was written that someone was going to betray Jesus at one point or the other, but it wasn't written that it was going to be Judas. But Judas just played out the character. The same way the Bible says that he was looking for, God told Samuel and said, I have found for me a king, and he picked David. So it literally means there were different people at that point in time, that could have one character or the other. David fit the exact description that God wanted, and he found it chosen. The same way Saul never wanted to be a king, God out of favor chose him. He believed it, then he chose David, because David now has the character that he wants. So I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, there is a choice to make on what kind of. So that is going to now determine the flow of things that happens in your life. So in my case, it's first of all grace. All right. So there are practical things that I did and all of that. Of course, exposed myself to information. Yeah. Exposed myself to information. They say follow who no road. Do you understand? So I also tried my best to even if I didn't have like direct contact or relationship with certain top photographers and all that, but I kept track of what they were doing, the little information I could get off of them. Do you understand? I could because success in those areas could just be a plug and play thing, where you just look at what someone has done before and you try to plug it in. And so that's the same thing. So in terms of marketing, in terms of quality of work that is required, do you understand, by clients and all, and everything. And maybe because I know photographers oftentimes don't like us going this way, so maybe I'll go a bit more direct to make this more valuable for someone who's watching. I know there's no client that's going to hire you without vetting you. All right. Vetting you for a client is simply seeing your portfolio. Your portfolio is not your nice work from your perspective. Your portfolio is your nice work from the perspective of the client. And so
that means your nice work may not be the client's
nice. And you really, this part is what I've seen most people missing. If what the client just want to see is a flat light that shows their face very well, don't come and be doing Rembrandt. All right. Just send the one with the flat light to the client. I'll shock you a bit. The job that gave me the fun, actually, the money I used to set up my studio, I made it in one job. The job that gave me that fund, all right, that job, it didn't require 5% of what I knew in photography as at the period. In fact, I did probably maybe 5% of the job. That's just to shock you. It's nothing technical. It's not. But
sorry, boss. Sorry, you set up a studio in Lagos.
Yeah.
I know the cost, right? At least if I don't know, at least I know it's Surulere.
Yeah.
Surulere, and I've been to your studio, and that place is not cheap.
Yeah.
So the job that gave you the money to set up that studio didn't require 5% of what you know you knew as a photographer at the time, and you didn't even do 5% of it. Come on, explain this. Explain.
Yeah. So the idea is we always think that that, and you see that was also my position for a long time. That's why I said my description of myself professionally changes as the landscape of my experience changes.
Yeah.
So we always imagine that, you're gonna have to kill yourself and get this amazing job that nobody has never done before. In fact, if you do a job that nobody has never done before, it's not relatable. And if you understand what relatability is to clients, then you would realize that you may not need to kill yourself to actually get the best job. You just need to understand what the clients want. This is a job that probably would not have come to me if I didn't position that I could do something like that. So this is a job that probably maybe gone to someone else. And this is very important. Nomenclature. what you call yourself, because no one is going to blow your trumpet for you. You are the only one to describe yourself, right? Just like I spoke to you, you were the one asking me, what do I mean creative artist and all of that, you know? But someone else I could just meet someone today and say, hey, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a portrait photographer, and the guy has an event of 10 million naira tomorrow. So, and he just swept you under the carpet.
Because you're a portrait photographer. You just box yourself in one corner.
Just box yourself with your description. And it's not even thinking about you at all. He probably even wants to help you. He had good intention. But because you described yourself that way, the guy just moved on to the next person. So that is the understand. So you need to be able to understand what clients think. You see, in the creative industry, there are a lot of nomenclature, things we call ourselves, names we call this, what we call that, and all of that. When I'm talking to clients, I find the best way to communicate from their perspective. I'm not using all those creative jargons to explain to them. I just say what they understand. Do you understand? If they call it photo, call it photo. Don't say, or images or visual. Stop that. Just let the client understand what you want to do, because they need to be able to understand their own value.
So, would you say what makes a good creative is the ability to communicate your value and to explain to the barest minimum what you do?
Simply not. You know, of course, it's in line with business.
So, business.
Yeah. So, but what makes you a good creative? You must be able to create, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but if you want to make money, then you must be able to communicate your value very well.
You're bringing another distance. So there's a difference between creating and making money. So there's a difference between now creating and making money. So everybody, before Mr. Sam jump on that, thank you, Lucia, and thank you, Mr. David, for your questions. We are going to take that, but we have 4 likes on this live stream, which is not a good thing. I want to encourage you to like this video. You see the like button, so just click on the like button and like it. And also, you have interactions. Just drop, on the comments what it is that you are taking away from this conversation so far, and as well, tell us where you are watching from. It would be nice, to tell us where you are watching from. Those of you online, we appreciate you and thank you for your participation so far. So help us to like this video and post it everywhere. Start tagging. The hashtag we are going with actually is Create with Camerajoint. So help us go with that hashtag, and then we'll get going from there. So Mr. Sam, over to you. So I was like, the difference between creating and making money.
Yeah. Okay. So
especially in the creative industry.
Okay. I think it's pretty simple. It's creating. So you could create for whatever reason, purpose.
So are there people that create without the mind, or without having it in mind to make money from what they are creating?
Yes. In fact, if you had learned photography, I don't want to say professionally now, but if you have passed through a formal education to learn photography, maybe you did a diploma or maybe even a university course to start photography, you probably would have heard much more what photography, the kind of value photography holds in the society beyond just making money. Yes, and I share in that same view, seriously. I understand that photography can be a major tool for change, and all of that. I think it was Malik Afebwa that was speaking to us somewhere recently, and was talking about how when he was to start, when he jumped into AI, image generation and all of that, he had concern with the kind of results he was getting from from the AI models that were available. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, and he spoke about how it was so biased because of the kind of images that was used to train the AI, right? And I felt that's just a reflection of the kind of images we have dished out about ourselves in Africa. Maybe not the one we dished out about ourselves, but even the one that we dished out about us. But I'm of the opinion, observing the landscape of documentary photography and street photography for a certain period of time, I'm of the opinion that we did that job ourselves. Someone else could argue different, because oftentimes we tend to just quickly blame the Western space for tagging us this way or tagging us that way and all of that, because we saw them as the first runner in that sense, the forerunner in that sense, and then we wanted to do things the way they were doing it. So when we moved into photography didn't necessarily start from Nigeria in that sense, So it didn't start from Africa in that sense. A lot of the equipment and technology and all of that came from outside of this space, and also, so we were literally learning stuff off of them. You learn composition off of them. You learn how to shoot this off of them, and all. So we did all of that, from them. So, and for some reason, we were also trying to tell our stories the same way they were trying to tell their stories. We were plotting it the same way and all that. So because there is a Western narrative for Africa, obviously, when they came down and they took pictures of your Lagos, they didn't go to Ikoyi, they didn't go to CMS, they didn't go to Victoria Island, they went to Mushin, to Makoko, just to Oshodi and all of that, and took terrible pictures, because there's a narrative that they had about Africa that they wanted to stress with their visuals, So they got that off. And then, because for some reason you notice that same photographs was celebrated, it was exhibited in Paris, it was exhibited in different museums, and it made a lot of
awards.
Money.
Yeah, exactly.
So automatically you started thinking, okay, that is the type of photographs that wins money. And then you start shooting the same way. Not that you were particular about what story you wanted to tell and all that. And I dare say, that a lot of creative works that won awards in those days and all of that were because where was the money coming from? The money was coming from the same people who wanted to tell the story that, oh my God, I think I'm really going this route to tell story. So let me stop for a minute. Today is not documentary photography. So, but in line with what you're saying, creative
I'm making money.
Do you understand? So the people so I share that you could just shoot and do amazing work, and not necessarily for the purpose of making money. You could make money in the future. It may not come the same way every other, anything that is valuable, money will come in the future. But if the intention is to make money consistently, then you have to change your route for it.
So we have questions, and I want to see how we can take it in the next 3 minutes, so that we'll go on break and then come back. One of the questions Lucia asked here is that in Nigeria, she said, which niche of photography is the most lucrative? Because I wonder if it's possible to make a living in Nigeria as a nature photographer.
I think, so to go direct, Lucia, right?
Yes, Lucia. So you can talk to Lucia.
Okay, so Lucia, so to go direct, I think you can make money off of nature photography, but don't think your money will necessarily come from Nigeria. All right, because there are hundreds of genres of photography that we have not even scratched the surface in Africa. All right, our approach has always been trying to make a quick money. Okay, and I'll be sincere with you. I think I'm part of people who are also trying to make quick money, to be sincere. So, because our perspectives are different. But if your intention is to make money as quickly as you start photography, please, once you buy your camera, either you start shooting portrait, or you enter Pakpakpa, or you go to events, you will make some money from there. All right. But if the intention is to make something, because you see, and I just say the truth as much as I can say it. All right, and this is not personal prejudice or anything. I'm just saying things the way they are. You can make quick money from a lot of photography genre that is already popular today. The market is big, is there, and it's always there. There's always a family to shoot. There's always someone's birthday to shoot. There's always an event to shoot and all that. So while I meet documentary photographers oftentimes who talk to maybe social photographers. Social photographers now just compounded it to people who shoot portraits, who shoot events, who shoot all that, and then they talk to them like as though what they are doing doesn't have value. Do you understand? Because your picture, after you're done taking your pictures, it just ends up in the trash or just ends up in someone's page, and that's the end of it and all of that. It's true. All right, maybe
It's
you
true
may not
most
have found-
times.
It's true. Do you understand? Maybe you've not been able to find values for those photos. All right, in the future. All right, because this is where knowledge comes in. But nonetheless, you also cannot dispute the fact that if you move into documentary photography, you may not make money immediately.
Yeah.
Do you get now? So you are left with a decision. Do you want to make money immediately? My approach is that I create work that I know can still make me money in the future, and I position them where I want to position them. For example, nature photography that she wants to go into. The nature ecosystem in Nigeria, it's not, the story is not told. No one is doing underwater.
Yeah.
No one is going, I give credence to someone like credit and respect to someone like Dr. Dayo Adedayo,
Yeah.
you know, who has like
do you see his pictures?
Oh, in fact, I had an
Like you'd be wondering, are these places in Nigeria? Okay, so just to chip in, Channel TV started doing a thing since last year where in the morning section of their Sunrise daily program, they will show a view, kind of a drone shot or a view of a place in Nigeria.
Yeah.
There was one lake they showed in the north. I'm like, can you see this? Is there, like, who is taking the picture of this? Who is documenting this? Who is showing the world that we have some things like this? Yeah. And that's just little of, if you check your community, there is one.
Yes.
If you check my community, there is an amazing thing.
There's always something.
Yeah. So who is telling those stories? So Lucia, you can hear directly from Mr. Samuel that there is, a place in Nigeria that, you can do that. And like what you said, you can make money from that.
Yeah, you can. In fact, just a quick information for you, Lucia. I know that Dr. Dayo Adedayo is currently building a big gallery that is supposed to change. I really thank him so much for what he's working on. I had an opportunity to be there recently on a visit with a group of people, and I listened to some of the things that he's working on. It's a massive space. It's a gallery, but it's focused for photography. It's not artwork. We're not selling artwork or anything. Is in one of his statements saying, we're going to be selling photographs from this place, indigenous photographs from this place in their millions, in their billions, and I'm really excited to hear something like that. So if you get into nature photography right now, I think you might just have found yourself a good gallery to put your work.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's take one more question, and this is from David. So with the rise of mass content creation, both individual and corporations, like everybody is getting into getting involved. So is cinematography a better path to pursue than photography in today's Nigeria?
Sorry, can you take that question again?
With the rise of mass content creation, both individuals and corporations getting involved, is cinematography a better path to pursue than photography in today's Nigeria?
Oh, okay. So
that's David.
So we live in a world where industries are controlled by agendas. I will try my best not to. I'm not trying to attack anyone and all that. So industries are controlled by agendas. So I'll give you an example. So today now we have phones that are now Type C.
Yeah.
All right, and maybe in the next coming days it's going to be Type D and Type F and Type Y and all of that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because we needed Type C, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you understand electronics to an extent and all that, you realize, yes, maybe because they're making new technology, we need to upgrade this and all of that. But the amount could have just been the same thing. The amount has nothing to do, do you understand, with. So that's just an example in how, but because there is a particular direction, people who make these stuffs and all that have a way of controlling the industry, controlling where the money goes and how much money they can make over time. So they know how to make you want something and take it away from you and want another thing. Now the videography space, the cinematography, content creation and all of that was influenced by social media. All right, and social media will always stay with us and all that. So whether to pursue cinematography or to pursue content creation, will depend on you, on what do you want to do. I dare to say, if you want to make a lot of money, All right, I don't even see much difference in them, anyways. You know, because you're just using a different equipment and a different approach to it. I think you should learn wide. Don't think of yourself as a cinematographer or as a content creator. Do you get what I mean? Because there's a mind that is creating the content. That mind can create multiple other things. So I'm saying be like open-minded, you know. So but if I'm to advise you, like maybe what's making money right now and all that, I think cinematographers are still raking and all that. I mean, who wants to shoot on Netflix and use it? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is like, you know, my takeaway from this is that, like you said, be open-minded.
Yeah.
What is making money today might not make money tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we came from a time that Instagram was just focusing on pictures, pushing pictures.
Yeah.
And when TikTok came, there was a kind of a repositioning. You know, they wanted to, like, you know, have reels, you know, just to play in the same light with TikTok. YouTube became, you know, has shorts too, and you know, every Snapchat, all of them, they started going short distance. So yeah, so what is actually making money today might not necessarily make money tomorrow. Like you said, be open-minded and learn wide.
Yeah,
learn wide.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Thank you, guys. I hope you are getting value from this. Let's, you know, spam the comment. We are really getting value from this. This is a master class. I'm wondering whether the time that we allocate for this thing will be enough. Please, let's say thank you, Mr. Sam, on the comment section, everyone. So
thank you so much.
So Mr. Sam, you are giving us master class. Thank you so much. And then, you know, one thing I want to ask you. Let me go to my question, because I prepared for you. I prepared for you. So, if you are to talk to someone, a young person there, how to build a strong photography brand in Nigeria now in 2025, what would you tell that person?
Okay.
First of all, let me start from this way. Somebody that is coming out from high institution, that's looking for what, can the person still go into photography in 2025?
Yeah.
And if yes, and you are to advise the person on how to build a strong brand, what will you tell that person? What would be your advice?
Okay, so to start with, I would say you need to be clear on what you want to do. What type of brand do you want to build? You know, and I dare say, just, you know, this is not giving you like false hope. All right, this is just saying to you that it is very possible. Like we can have a new wave, you know, of creatives moving into the industry and then changing the narratives and all of that. I think we tend to want to do, excuse me, what people that have gone ahead of us, you know, what they did, you know, and that is great, but you really don't do it to be like them. It's best to just learn from them and then do something, you know, new to yourself. If you want to build a good photography brand, an amazing photography brand in this current age, it's simple. Approach it from a position of understanding. What do I want to build, and who do I want to build this thing for what purpose? The goal just must be clear to yourself.
Yeah.
All right. And a strong photography brand may not necessarily be that you're making a lot of money. There are some names that now you mention it, you know, it's a brand forever in the industry because of what they did, you know, and there was intentionality to it.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Mr. Don Baba, you know, left the overseas and came down to Nigeria to actually start off something, and then was able to influence the like of Kelechi, the like of T.Y. Bello, at least from the history that we're able to track, you know. So, and till tomorrow, every time you're talking about Mr. Kelechi, you're talking about T.Y. Bello, you definitely, you know, will make reference to Mr. Don Baba because of his influence, you know, in their career. And in my opinion, that's a big brand. That's a big brand. It's not, first of all, about the money you're making off of it. You understand? But the truth of the matter is, till today, you know, if you really want to maybe do something in the photography industry and an event today, and you feel you need to have 1 or 2 veterans, like, you probably would invite him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's a bit.
I mean, you can't write the history of Nigerian photography
you
without.
can't just write it. Do you understand? Those are people who influenced it. You know. So I'm saying, if your intention is to, maybe make a name for yourself then you have to be very intentional to the core, to the fact that you may need £1 million, but what they're asking you to do does not align with your brand. You will say no to it. This is the reality. And that's why, like I'm saying, the idea of building a strong brand, it's an art talk that many young photographers are not ready for. Do you understand? In fact, maybe I know how some of us, you know, I feel like I might still be struggling with a couple of decisions myself. You know, I know certain things, but it's not everything that I know that I've been bold enough to take a decision for.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The same way. So I love to be as plain as possible. The fact that I'm sitting here doesn't mean, I got it all. Yes, I have experience. I can speak off of my experience and advise another person. I could mentor someone and ask them to do what I probably wouldn't do now, but I know it's best for them. You know, I had someone who worked with me recently, and they had an offer to shoot for a big brand. I won't mention names. To shoot for a musician, and to shoot for that musician for a certain period of time, and they're gonna have a contract. They will pay him a certain amount of money, which was, you know, very low and all that. And he reached out to me. I was like, his approach normally would just say no, he doesn't want to do this and all. And I told him, I said, I'm not sure you're wise. You understand? Take that job, do it for that period of time. I said, that job is not your payment. That job, and you know, and on another occasion, I would say, don't do free job. Do you understand what I'm saying? So to build a business, you need to be focused on what you want to do exactly, all right? And then spell it out for yourself. Okay, if this is what I want to say, once you know where you are heading, for some reason, you're clear on the path to go, all right? If you're going to Oshodi, you're not going to be going here and there. You're going to just somehow find the best route to Oshodi. So what else do you do? Be open-minded, ask questions, you know. And when I say ask questions, see, if nobody in the industry is giving you listening here, I know that ask ChatGPT. It's not that difficult.
People ask ChatGPT.
I'm serious, because the truth is that it's just principles, and they are there. It's not peculiar to, you know. If I don't know if I have a minute to say this. Okay. In the industry, I think about let's say about 7 between 7 to 10 years past, right? There were people who were just like, these ones are the custodians of certain knowledge in photography, from creative down to the business. And that was it for a certain period of time. If you're going to get it, you're going to go through them. You're going to spend, you know, through your nose to do it. But 5 years, you know, down the line, you know, just a few years after all those periods and all that, the people you were not releasing the information to, you understand, began to search for it one way or the other. When they found it, they started shooting you in the leg. You know, what did they do? Where they were giving you 10 million for a job before, you know, and the brands are actually, they don't mind.
They can go from jump.
If you another person can do it for 3 million and we can verify and guide the person to do it, why not? We can cut down cost and all that. And then they call another guy who has built up his portfolio. The guy doesn't even understand his portfolio. At least he has built something. He doesn't even understand the valuation of his portfolio, you know. And so what I'm saying is, the knowledge is not. It can't be eaten. It's a parallel thing. Whether you like, you release it. Whether you like, you don't release it. People will come to know it one way or the other. So I'm saying information is out there. As to, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty. I'm just giving you like really important things, decisions within yourself that you have to take. You have to be focused and know, this is what I want to do, and understand the consequences of going for that. If you choose to do documentary photography and say, or you want to do nature photography that doesn't seem to have like a big market in Nigeria, or maybe even in anywhere in the world at the moment, and understand the fact that you're not going to make money off of that place for a long time, but you need money. So question, how will you make money for your life and the other needs that you have in your life? Why you do this? I don't have a problem. You don't have, that's why I said you are a creative. You don't necessarily have to do only photography. You can do any other thing to help your photography grow, if that is your passion in that sense. But nothing stops you. there are businesses you can go into that you don't necessarily have to love or have passion for.
So that means, are you going to photography as a passion or as a business?
Do you understand? So understand it, and then so that's going to now, guys. So every other thing revolving around maybe how you brand, can talk about consistency, or how do you dress, how do you position yourself, how do you talk, what do people perceive about you, how do you carry your work, how do you evaluate your work, what's your own personal evaluation of your work, you know, and all of that over time. So
yeah. So man, Mr. Sam, thank you.
thank you so much.
Okay, people, so we are going on a short break, and we are going to be having Joyfulness. Joyfulness is the head of social media team here in Camerajoint, and she's going to be reviewing some certain products with us. So stay put. I have questions here that you've sent in. I have like 2 questions that I'm going to be asking you once we are back. And guys, you wouldn't want to miss the questions that we have. I have a ton of questions myself, and then we're going to be asking once we are back. So yeah, and then, you know, Mr. Bello just dropped his question. So we have many questions that are coming in. So if you still have your questions, guys, start dropping in while we take this break, and make sure you are liking this video, and you are sharing, and make sure you are engaging. Thank you, and let's go on a break. Okay, guys, we are so excited that you're still here. Thank you so much for the amazing 15 people that are currently online at this point, right? This is the first of its kind, and it's a way of encouraging us to do this often. Now, I want you to comment in the session, in the comment section below. What next do you want us to talk about? What topic next do you want us to talk about? To me, I'm thinking that we should do audio and podcasting, because it's a thing, and, you know, take our people through on how you can set up a low budget podcasting studio, right? But just comment below what you want us to talk about next. Is it videography? And yeah, I'll have another videographer coming in very soon to talk about, you know, a wide range of issues and answer your questions about the videography landscape in Nigeria. But right now, I still have in the studio Mr. Samuel Olatubosun, and he's the creative head of Sami Photo Magic. I went to his studio in Surulere, and I was really impressed. Guys, if you're around Surulere, you can locate him and, you know, have a nice time. He will treat you well. Just tell him you are coming from me. He will treat you well. Yeah, he will treat you well. So thank you, guys. Get the questions coming. We have a little time to go, and it would be nice to answer your questions, right? So, Mr. Sam, thank you so much for staying, you know, till this time. Now, I want to ask you, let's talk about AI. I don't think there's any conversation that should happen in this age that, you know, we leave out AI, right? It's a thing. And I'm just imagining when internet was a thing, when internet came. So this was how they talked about internet, you know, a lot of them talked about internet. So AI is a thing for us, and then we have to talk about it. How, you know, how did I put it down here, but there's a question that also, you know, has it. Let me ask the question first. Princess asks, he said, what impact does AI have in the photography industry? What can a photographer do to stay relevant regardless of AI?
Okay, regardless.
Yes, of AI.
Okay. I wanted to be sure I heard that.
So first of all, the impact, and how can a photographer stay relevant?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, AI is here to stay. So know that and be at peace. All right, for a start.
Yeah.
I said that because so I if you follow the World Economic Forum meeting, the last one that was held at Davos, you would see the whole discussion was all AI, and I'm talking these are the major players in the world economy in that sense. So, and everyone's direction. And that's why I think even after that meeting, there was a new wave of, AI models that also moved into the industry. So it's here to stay. Know that and know that for fact. But what's the purpose of AI? I know there's a lot of discussions. In fact, I've had some myself on LinkedIn about discuss things around the ethical use of AI, the data part and everything and all that. Because I don't want to go into that because I did a bit of thing. Do you understand, with collecting visual data for AI, building AI models, usually in face recognition, and face recognition, deep fake AIs, and a couple of parametrics and all that. So I did a couple of things from that area. But how would AI influence your industry currently? What I would say is that see AI as a tool. Don't see it like something that's come to compete. I think that's the popular conversation in most spaces. Where people are discussing or whether AI will take your job or AI will take your job and all. And I think I found that conversation funny. Do you understand? Yes, truly, AI would influence the entire industry. The landscape will shift, different things would. But if you allow yourself, just consider it this way, all right? If you are a doctor, all right, and then you've learned how to do this particular kind of surgery and all, and you don't further ahead in your education and new information or technology that just came in and all of that, you become obsolete. That's just simply what it is. So the same way, of course, you see different AIs are being built there. Let me say something. Before generative AI became very loud, we've always had AI embedded in different devices and all that. I use technophones, for example. All right, as an example, technophones didn't necessarily invest in camera devices. They didn't invest in camera devices as Samsung and iPhone did. Right? What they invested in was embedded AI tool, which is not on the surface of your camera. But for some reason, you took pictures with your phone. It looks really sharp. It looks amazing and all that. Except when you transfer the phone to another person's phone, it's not longer sharp. It's no longer sharp. Anyways, it's just on the standard. But they were doing a lot of AI embedded software, which I don't know much out of how that works much. Do you understand? But they were collecting data from professional photos. Do you understand? And then somehow teaching it to their phone AI and was able to give you this visual of a very sharp, nice picture, even though the camera was literally low. So when they are telling you this camera is this number of megapixels and all of that and everything, I'm not sure how to verify that. Again, I don't want to attack any brand. You understand? But that was at least I know I have a bit of that information. We don't know anyone, you know that this, if you take a picture with this particular phone and you transfer it. That was the case then. I don't know. Now it may have been different. So I just cited as an example. So the idea was that they were already doing this. But what was interesting was that they were using professional photos or photographers. All right. I know this one. All right. So let me keep it here. So, but I have the information because I was engaged to a point before I stepped back from it and all. So what you just need to understand is what is the value of my work to the current AI craze in the world today, and how can I position to make something off of that creation and still be relevant in this currently. Now, currently, AI is moving from just having an AI tool that can do something to you now to what we now call agent AI, right? Where one AI is actually running the other AI and something like that and everything. And an idea to say, I'm thinking, there is no way you're going to teach an AI something without getting it off of me. Okay? Even though there is no structural, ethical approach, you understand, that gives back sort of royalty to the people whose data are being used to train the AI currently. Exactly. There's no such thing at the moment. I think the conversation will take a long time. I know a lot of things are building on the ground. Do you understand? Because eventually that conversation must be had at the highest level eventually, and you will see it play out in the future. But Why that is not on ground, the real question you want to ask yourself is that what are they getting off of, what data are they getting off of me as a photographer that is being used to, because that's the idea. Take for example, if you want to generate an image right now, you need to be able to put the words right. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You know, because this thing works on a broad language. So you have to be able to use the right kind of language and all that. But that language is peculiar to you in your industry. So I'm thinking this is the right time for you now to pay attention to the things that you know as a photographer and just see how that works within the AI and use the tools. For example, recently I paid for an AI tool. I don't know, some of you might have seen it, Evoto. All right, it's an AI photo editing software. Do you understand, that allows you to do frequency separation without
just one button,
giving you guys free advert. But then, I mean, it serves and it's really serving me well. Do you understand? Because I faced some challenges with you know, having the photo editors do certain things for me recently, and I had to do some rush work and I needed it for it. I was able to pay, and it was serving me and all that. So I'm saying there are tools that you can use for, use AI for yourself, use it for your work, all right, and get familiar with the changes. I don't even mean jump from one AI to another AI. So the problem with creative has always been that we always want to focus on creative side of things. Do you understand? We're not looking at value. In my case, I'm thinking, okay, there's this AI tool here that can do this. There's that other AI tool here that can do it. And there's now the new trend of agent AI and all of that and everything. And I'm thinking, all right, rather than just trying to use all of this to serve clients, how about using this to serve the industry? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So I want to ask another question. You know, around 2017, 2018, there was this thing about smartphone photography.
Yeah.
There was a craze about how smartphone photography was going to take over the normal cameras, you know. But 5 years later, you know, there are new models of cameras that are coming in and they are even getting stronger. What do you think about?
See, I think industries are driven by narratives.
Yeah, okay.
Did you get what I mean? They are driven by narratives. And that's why I think I also got lost a bit in the midst of the whole Nikon and Canon war. Do you understand? In those days, so I was like, hey, I'm a Nikon person. Oh, Canon this and that, everything. I think at one point or the other you experience. But like I said, experience changes over time and all that. And now, you know, for me, it's just, what do you want to do? How much do you have on the table? What camera is required for it? If I can't buy it, I rent it. If I can't rent it, do you understand? Well, I get somebody else that can handle it. I directly work. That's just like my own approach to it. I don't, you know. So the same thing, all right. But AI's case is a little different in that one. I said that to say the whole landscape, the structure is there. We are moving into a world that we have never seen before. That's the truth, all right. And it can be a great advantage to those that already have experience if they are not rigid. Do you understand what I'm saying? I respect digital analog photographers so much, like those papas of those days. My goodness, how do you go about that? Do you understand? Cramming all the numbers. How do you shoot a whole wedding, you know, with this one film, making sure that you don't lose a shot.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, think about us. You could even do test shot. You know, you just take like 10 pictures and then you delete and you take it. But these guys don't have that. They have to set the exposure right. What was crazy was there was no post-production. So they need to understand contrast so crazily. So just at every point in time, they are measuring, they are doing
light meters everywhere.
I feel I'm of the opinion that those are the people that are supposed to actually become way better. I mean, they're supposed to make fortune off of digital photography because it now makes their work easy. But many of them fought it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They argue with it and all that. It was only those who saw it as, you know, who were wise enough to follow the trend that became successful after. I mean, Mr. Kelechi Abadobi came from that era. Do you understand? Dr. Bayadidayo came from that area. Dr. Mr. Don Baba came from that area. Many of them like that. Joe James Uroa, some of these other, they came from that era, and they didn't get missing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because they understand diversification, how they could, transit into a new era. And the same way with AI content. If you fight it, new guys will come in and learn AI. Do you understand? Learn AI properly and then use it to serve the brands that you're serving, and they'll cut down the cost. And then why not? They'll go for them if those guys can do it better. So but you are likely to do it better.
It's just like saying, don't be so strict.
Don't be unnecessarily rigid about it. Just learn it, understand it. You already have experience. If you even just choose to be open enough to learn it and say, okay, you know what, I want to know how this works, how this works and all that. By just mere knowing how it works, you understand its positioning because you already have experience in this industry.
Yeah. Let's ask, what do you think, what do you do to gain confidence and value your work?
To gain confidence and value your work.
Yeah, this is from Bello Adebowale. Bello, thank you so much for your question. Yeah.
Is it really what you do or what happens to you?
What do you do to gain confidence?
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I'm trying to really understand the question. Maybe gain confidence in terms of, is it confidence to be able to charge a certain rate, or gain confidence while working?
Maybe confidence about your work. Actually, there are people that no matter what they do, they will try to, make it less of importance in people's eyes.
Okay, I think it's two things. Yeah. Do you understand? One, it's not about even what I did much, but of what happened to me. So what do I mean by that? Many times when I'm shooting, so I have like an unconventional approach to shooting. So I could get to the studio and I've had this picture in my head, this is how I'm going to do it. So I have everything set up. I'm like, oh, set this or set that or set that up. And then as I was about to shoot, maybe the client just walked past something. And then the lighting there just blew my mind away. I could ask him to take down everything. To take down everything. Remove this one. This is what I want to do right now. It's like I had an epiphany in my head. Do you understand? But every time I'm done, thinking through the process that ended up to this point of this one image that I'm seeing that I now appreciate. Do you understand? Those old events, you get, is the confidence that I have. No. This thing went through a lot before I finally got it. Do you understand? So even if anybody is not, it's like a gamma lizard, ego. Even if nobody, you understand, recognize that this one, I did an amazing job and I'm satisfied with it. I'm stopping here. That's one side. The other side to it is actually LD comparison. LD comparison. What do I mean by that? I'm putting my work side by side.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Certain individuals that done this over time. Like, thank God. I mean, I go, my work looks amazing. This person's work is amazing, but mine is amazing too. This is nice and this is also nice as well. So.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I mean, there are sometimes you need to tell yourself that regardless of the feedback, that is not going the way you want. This particular, you see this one. Yeah, I did a good job. Yeah. So I hope you have gotten something from this Bello. So let me ask you this. Emmanuel is saying, "Hi, good morning. Nice talk show. A quick question. How does the cost of living and economic factors in Nigeria influence the pricing and sustainability of photography business? And how can you evolve
the pricing and
the pricing and sustainability of photography business? So how is the economic situation influencing?
Welcome to reality. Welcome to reality. So, well, it is in a lot of ways, because the question is asking, how does it influence it? So I would say, generally, start from your equipment. You understand? Your equipment. Well, thank God now that the dollar seems to be balanced a bit. We don't know for how long.
Is it that dollar is balanced or Chinese people are just giving us?
That's the opinion. that's the general knowledge. Again, I don't want to go to economics. Yeah. So, but at least that's like what we know. So generally, it affects you from your equipment. You understand? That's like even a major side to everything and all that. And from your equipment down to your own cost of living, down to your rents and all of that, everything. I mean,
Exactly.
if you're lucky, you have a space now that they're charging you a good rate and all. Like my space, I worked on the whole thing myself, so I was able to get a good bargain. But if you're in a place that is still, the rate is still good right now, the rate could be different if you step out of that place and you try to get in a place. And also, there is that. There is the what is it called? Of course, the pump price as well. Thank God, fuel has. I don't know whether I would say that's reduced. You know, like the whole story about the price of something. Now, when you say it's not so expensive, you know, it's funny when you know what it used to be before you got to this stage. But what I would say is that regardless of all of those things, I know it's always important to do your math every now and then. I recently gave a client of mine, you know, new rates recently, and then we had to do long argument and
you have to defend your project
because the person was trying to calculate percentage. Like, I mean, you gave me this percentage and all. Like, there's no percentage in this measurement, and this is where I talk about personal valuation. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where you just say it's not percentage. It's just that the reality is that what I was making, you know, is no longer doing it again. And if I must commit my time into doing this, all right, this is how much I have evaluated. I said it's going to be. Of course, I did some math. What's the cost of my equipment? What's the cost of this? What's the cost of that and everything? So, and I think it makes sense for you to really spend it, because a lot of photographers, once you just buy your equipment, we just like Nigeria is even funny because most of us, we don't even insure, you know, our equipment and all that. It's not that there is no avenue to insure, but it's just a bad character, just a bad approach that, you know, we never thought that way. And I encourage it, honestly speaking. You know, I encourage it because if you an equipment that I bought, there's something I bought for 500,000 or so 2018. The same thing is about 1.9 now. The same thing, same price, the same device, nothing changed, no upgrade, nothing at all, about almost 1.9 at this point in time. So think about if I have to change it. Do you get what I mean? So I would advise that in every costing that you are doing, and this is also why you have to value your work. Permit me to go this route a little bit here. This is why you, as a photographer, you must know, you know, because it's easy for you to just create photo, just carry your camera and just take picture, and then boom, you have this amazing shot and all that. You don't seem to have respect for it. You see, the people who came from the analog, they seem to understand the value there because they can't even shoot the film anyhow.
Exactly.
So that one negative that they've shot, they guard it. It's scarce. And that's why they tell you, oh, there's only 10 prints available for this certain period of time. And they are selling only those 10 prints for a certain. So if that guy is not going to sell another print in the next 5 months, he has calculated what his life is supposed to be in the next 5 months. And he has put the price together. Do you understand? To give you the cost for each of those prints is going to sell for the next 5 months. That's how valuations are done. So that your one photograph truly is also like another person's Benz. It's also like it's like a Camerajoint. What was that product that Joyce was showing? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying value it that way. So much so that, you know, in every, when you say, okay, I'm doing a portrait for you and you're getting 5 photographs, all right, for this portrait, and then I'm charging you 100,000, I'm charging you 150,000, whatever the rate you're charging is, I'm charging this amount of money for it and all that. Think about the fact that you're going to use your camera, you're going to use fuel, you're going to use time and all that and everything. Evaluate it. And you see, if you dare to do that math, you will find a very comfortable reason to charge at a certain rate.
And not feel guilty about it.
You will not feel guilty about it. You will just literally say, this is my rate. You say, what happened? It's a matter of mathematics. You just say, because if I don't do it this way, whether you like it or not, your camera will depreciate. Whether you like it or not, your equipment will depreciate.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, it will happen. It is bound to happen. In fact, keep the camera there, don't use it. You understand?
Depreciate.
So it must happen. If it doesn't depreciate in terms of the value, okay, take for example, your camera didn't get spoiled, but about 10 other models of cameras have been released after that time. And then so your 50 megapixel, do you understand, is now looking like 10 megapixel because of the new era. So you have no option. You must buy a new camera. So it means you must save up for that. So that's so when I charge a client for anything and all that, and I say, and they're asking, I really don't explain. I really don't explain much. Because this person is charging us. I say, don't let us be arguing over something that is visual. If you have seen my work, you have seen the other person's work, and you think my work is not worth the price and all that, and the other person is, don't let us fight over it. If you don't see it today, you see it tomorrow. Do you understand? If I lose you today as a client and say, oh, you want to go to this person, okay, there's no problem. I'll find a better way to communicate my value to you another time, because I don't want to lose you forever, right? Because I've had clients that they didn't shoot 2 years, space of 2 years, maybe because I increased my rate, they left, like 2 years. 2 years later, they came back, and they paid way higher than what they were supposed to pay before. So that's it. That's it.
Wow, guys, this is very, very, very eye-opener for us creative, especially in this landscape, Nigeria. Now, this question, if we go discussing everything that we have in store, or the questions that I am seeing here, we are going to take a long time. So we are going to, we have to stop this stream, but I want you to comment in the section below. First of all, like this video. So if you're watching right now, please thumbs up on this video. You can see the thumbs up button. Just thumbs up on this video. It will help this video to reach more people, right? And drop in the comment section what topic or what area do you want us to talk about next. Like now I'm thinking about let's do audio, because audio is very, very important if you're going into the videography and content, just production of content that is not still photo. Even still photo, we have BTS these days. People do a lot of BTS, so audio is key. So help us drop the next aspect of this discussion you want us to talk about, right? And say thank you to Mr. Sam once again, and it's amazing. Now, one of the key takeaway for me from this thing is, what he said about the fact that your equipment depreciates. See, the thing is, every click on your camera, every click on your this thing will reduce the value of that camera, right? So whether your light or your this thing, so when you're charging, when you're valuing yourself, you should put that into consideration, so that you know that I will eat from this, I will take care of myself from this, I will get my equipment from this thing that I'm charging, right? So it is very important. And thank you so much. Mr. Sam, one more question that is very important I'm seeing here that I need to ask you is, how accessible is funding or financial support for startup photographers in Nigeria? Do you think there is funding, first of all?
I believe there is funding for SMEs.
Okay. So how accessible?
I believe there is funding for SMEs. Is BOI. There are also, angel investors, people who are willing to invest in businesses and all that. I think there is money available in people's pockets that could go into investments, any type of investment. But I think the perception for photography industry is still not at its best at the moment. There's not people would, of course, it has changed over time. All right, it has changed. I can say that, I mean, photographers are now respected more, you understand, in certain space, but it seems to be within the people that understands, like what you do and all that. I think lately you meet clients and they're the one telling you, don't go near that equipment, they are very expensive. So they seem to be more aware about that. But is the photography and the videography industry well respected? So maybe I'll break it, all right? Because when we put it together as maybe the visual creative industry, you would want to put film, you want to put that, but I think that they seem to have gained some level of industry respect. But if we bring it down to maybe photography, cinematography, you understand, at the mid-range downward and all of that, I think that those areas still lack enough industry respect. What do I mean by that? You would have bank. In fact, I remember when I was having the vision that I was going to set up my studio and all that, I once made an attempt to get a loan from a microfinance bank, and then they were giving pepper sellers money. They were giving all sort of people money. Like I knew people who just walk in there and get 1 million out and get 2 million out and everything and all that. When they told me point blank, they don't give photographers. No. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of which it was a perception issue.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't think you can even make money, let alone they don't even trust that you. They don't trust that you. They don't trust that you'll pay back and all those. So there was not enough information to say that photography. And even now, I think the structure of photography business. Do you understand that a lot of photographers, right? Most people are doing freelancing. Yeah. Not many people are into commercial. For example, I don't think someone like Mr. Ifeanyi Oputa, Studio 24, would approach an organization for loan, and they would not be willing to jump at it. Do you understand? Because of the kind of business structure and system and success they've had over time. Do you understand? They went commercial and did commercial real time. And you could tell these guys are making money, no doubt about it, because they're having outlets here and there and everything. But you, Kunle and Wale photography, do you understand? Now when you say, Kunle Ade photography, the moment you even just did, they know it's you. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they check you out. They see that, okay, yeah, you have a studio, you've invested and all of that and everything, but you seem to be more like a freelancer than you are a company,
established
company in that sense. Yeah. Even if you say you've registered and all of those things, and they don't seem to have that kind of respect. So, and we will not have the respect.
So you are basically saying that if you have a system, they can look your way.
Do you understand? Instead of like if you set up something that is, that is convincing. The person that wants to give you money is doing his own mathematics. Exactly. It's not like he's a philanthropist. He just wants to make money off of you too. So, and he's thinking, okay, do you have a system that will make you make the money off of this money you are taking? And is there a guarantee that you will take it back? And also, so there's still that. It may take time, but I think that as, I don't know, but I just think there's something we can do as photographers in the industry. And since I'm speaking to a couple of people, maybe this conversation can also go.
I think I should bring Mr. Oputa because he mentioned this. I should bring him to the show. Let him come and tell us about funding.
In fact, I don't want to go there. So, I'm saying if we begin to respect ourselves, and I'll use this to just chip in this. If you're a photographer, all right, understand that perception is everything. All right. If they call you to a corporate event, please don't wear round neck top and just. I'm not being critical because this is common among us. You just put on the round neck top, and where you have MDs of banks and all of that came from an event, you understand, with your dreadlock and your sneakers, all right, and you say because you're carrying the camera. Do you get what I mean? It's usually how we dress, but it's usually how we are dressed. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've been to a place they didn't think I was the photographer because I was wearing a suit like every other person, and I was applauded the same respect. Have you been to they knew the event planner knew you are the photographer. For some reason, they still don't want to give you food. Do you understand what I'm saying? But do you understand? Yeah. And you wonder why are they always doing it? We've complained about it. Why are they always? The reason they are always doing it is because they don't respect you. And many times that respect is only due to their perception about you, physical perception most of the times. So look good, dress well. And when I'm saying dress well, I'm also not talking about I spoke earlier and I mentioned doing things from the perspective of the client. Because if your intention is you want them to see you, you want them to respect you, then you have to do it from their understanding of what respect is. You go to a corporate setting, as amazing as your Balenciaga that is 500,000 that you bought, all right, he is another. It's not respected in the corporate setting. Put on a shoe of 50,000. Put on a black shoe. Put on a tie. Put on a nice trousers. Dress, do you understand, for the occasion. And then you're likely to be, in fact, some of them will probably welcome you as the guest. So that's it. That's one of. So if we change some of those things, I thank God it's a little better now. Photographers now, a lot of photographers dress well, men dress to kill, and all of that. But I'm saying dress for the occasion, from the perspective of the client and all that, you know. So yeah.
Oh man. So it's because of the perception, from what I got from our discussion, that is one of the reasons why I think I should move this thing back. Hela, what do you think? So that's one of the reasons why photographers or basically people in the content space have been neglected, where these discussions about money is happening. Come on, there is money in this industry.
There's more than enough money to go around.
If you need an evidence, look at Studio 24. If you need an evidence to know that the photography that you are doing is making people millions, look at Studio 24, and look at other studios that are there, other people that are there, right? So there is money, but how you value your work, like this guy asked, there was a question that Bello asked, about confidence. So how you have confidence and in your work as a photographer really, really matters. And then don't just take your camera and go and shoot. Yes, you can start from back, like he started, but make sure that you are growing, you are transiting to putting systems in place so that it's not just when they come there, you are a freelancer, and then any weekend that you don't go out to shoot, the money, the loan they gave you, they will not be able to, you will not be able to return it. So this is the discussion. So Mr. Sam, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this amazing talk. So guys, we asked for, we said we were going to reward some, amazing comments. So one of the amazing comments that I think we've had today, and then a good listener, Lucia. Lucia, where are you reaching us from? Let us know where you are reaching us from, Lucia. And thank you so much for your amazing comments and question that you've asked. Lucia was the one that asked the question about the niche in photography, and what's the most lucrative niche in photography. So Lucia, thank you so much for that. And we've had Emmanuel Odobo. He's been online and he's dropped like how many questions?
Emmanuel, I greet you.
Emmanuel has dropped like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. We couldn't take all your questions, but just know that your questions, we've gotten all of them.
Ask it personally when we see.
And we have Sahere David. David, thank you so much for your question. We've had Princess Marachi. Thank you so much for your question. And every other people that joined us on this live stream. We've had amazing time. So thank you. We love more sessions like this. Kudos to the team. Mike Walker is commenting, saying kudos to team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. He said this was an amazing session, and a lot of people are actually, this is fantastic. So thank you. So we are going to ask Mr. Is it Miss or Mr. Lucio Abdulrahman to send us his details. So you can send us on Instagram at Camerajoint NG. Send us your details and we need to contact you first of all and make sure that you are actually this person here, and before we start sending you your gift. There's a gift to this. And Mr. Emmanuel Odobo, thank you for your questions. We are going to have a gift for you as well. And Mr. David, it would have been nice to give you a gift, but the gift we have right now, I'm thinking about it. Mr. David, first of all, thank you for the amazing time and questions and the amazing times you've engagement on the chat. So, but we have to give the gift to I don't know. It's okay. So let's go with these two for now. Let's go with these two for now. Mr. Emmanuel and Lucia, please send us a chat on Camerajoint or at Camerajoint on Instagram, and we'll take over from there and get your address and send you the gift we have for you. Thank you, but be sure that in Camerajoint will do things right, and it's going to be an amazing gift. So thank you so much for participating. Like I said, this particular session is going to be live. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, so you can drop your questions anytime. We are going to answer them. And again, we are asking you to comment which section do you want us to have, who do you want us to have here. You can tag the person, you can share this with the person, and we are going to have, oh, Lucia is in Canada. Oh, Lucia. So Lucia, well, from the questions in the comment section, who do you think we should send the gift to? Because the gift is not actually like, it's supposed to be national, right? It will be very difficult to send it international. So help us select. We have between Mr. David and Princess Amarachi and Bello Adebowale, who to send the gift to. You know, anybody you select amongst this. Oh, David invited you. Oh, so David will have it, right? Okay, so David, you have Lucia's gift. So Lucia, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that is it. This live stream will be on our channel, so you can always refer to it. We're going to be having an audio engineer next. He has tons of years of experience in the industry, so you wouldn't want to miss it. If you check our YouTube channel, all those reviews you're seeing on our YouTube channel, that is the man that will be coming. He's good, you know, you can check him out. So thank you so much. We appreciate. God bless you guys. God bless you. So bye-bye. So Sam, thank you so much for, we have a gift for you.
Ah, okay.
We have a gift. So you cannot come to Camerajoint. We will not honor you. So we have a gift for you. And yeah, so this is from all of us at Camerajoint. My boss is actually connected online. Wow. And the team downstairs, they are watching the amazing thing you're doing.
So much.
We have an office in Lagos here, where he is currently. And we have an office in Abuja. So everybody will, they are so happy with what we've done today, and this is from all of us.
Thank you, Camerajoint. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much, and bye bye.